With this new offense being installed, some of the media are taking notice. What is up, Finn fans? We're going to be talking. Barry Jackson came out with an article, and we're going to be talking about some in the media are actually taking notice of this new offense. So we're going to jump into that. I'm going to read some of the article to you. We're going to dissect it, talk about that. Then there's also another article by the 33rd team where they talk about, can Tyreek Hill help Mike McDaniel get the best out of Tua Tagovailoa? So we're going to talk about these two articles, kind of see what they're talking about, because the 33rd has Brian Schottenheimer in it and what he has to say. But before we jump into that real quick, just want to talk about something real quick. A lot of you guys are talking about the intros again. And some of you guys like, hey, where's the long one? Or, hey, I really like the short one. And I'm keeping them both. I've come to that decision. The long ones are definitely going to be for live streams. And again, I'm going to be live streaming soon. I haven't picked a date yet, but I will be live streaming soon. Maybe the 17th. Maybe that Sunday. We'll go live 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Hang out for an hour or so. Chat it up. But the intros, I'm going to interchange them. Like I said, if it's a short video, if it's like a 10-minute video of me just kind of talking about breaking news or dissecting things or whatever, I might throw the circle one in there. If it's a longer video, I might throw the long one in there. I like them both a lot. They're both me. They both I would put a lot of hard work into them. So I'm keeping them both. So let's jump into this article that Barry Jackson talked about. He said, he talks about the talking heads. He says ESPN Marcus Spears took it to another level when it talks about being kind of excited about this new offense by declaring the other day that this is going to be hell on wheels to try to get these dudes stopped with the amount of speed. There is nothing about this offense There is nothing about this offense that defenses won't lose sleep over. Spears implored Coach McDaniels to use Tyreek Hill like you've seen him being used and destroying defenses. They've got another guy in Jalen Waddle that can destroy defenses in a very similar way. He says there's a mess up here, and I probably popped it up. You got Mike Gesicki at tight end, who wins 50-50 balls, who I think is going to be a phenomenal player, not to mention a stalwart left tackle who comes over in Teron Armstead. Tyreek Hill with the ball in his hands is one of the most devastating things in the NFL. So a lot of people are starting to notice what the Dolphins are kind of putting together. Even the running back room is kind of getting a little notice, especially with the addition of Sony Michel, right? I think Sony Michel and him and Alec Ingold are kind of those signings that the Dolphins made that went under the radar, that not a lot of people are talking about, because they're not big. They're not a trade for Tyreek Hill. They kind of went under the radar, and I think they're going. And another person that I constantly keep bringing up is Cedric Wilson Jr. These three guys, right? Sony Michel, Alec Ingold, Cedric Wilson Jr. Three signings that not a lot of people are talking about, going under the radar, I think are going to have huge, huge impact on this offense and on this team. You're going to have people trying to double team Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and then you're going to have these other guys being able, Mostert's out there, Chase Edmonds is out there, all of a sudden speed. We got to keep an eye on them. And then they put Sony Michel in, he's going to be running you over. He has been productive. All of the years he's been in the NFL, he has been productive. Alec Ingold, he's a guy, yes, he's a fantastic fullback, but you get the ball in his hands, you get him out in the open field, you drop the ball off to him, he's going to run you over. And Cedric Wilson, he's got that speed. He's got that speed to take it over the top. Those three names, write them down or timestamp this. Alec Ingold, Sony Michel, Cedric Wilson Jr. Remember those three names. And Durham Smythe. Remember those names, because everyone is talking about, rightfully so, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Gesicki. Just remember those names. So we're going to go talk about the 33rd, and essentially Peter Engler, sorry if I mispronounce your name, kind of talked about, can Tyreek Hill help Mike McDaniel get the best out of Tua Tagovailoa? One of the biggest moves of the 2022 season, bringing in Tyreek Hill, yada, yada, yada. So despite all of the above talent, these pieces don't just fall together. Let's go through how Mike McDaniel can get his offense on the same page and challenge year one. First, RPO can be a strong tool to build to his confidence. He has a quote here from former offense coordinator Brian Schottenheimer saying, RPOs are something Tua has been doing since he was in high school. He did it at Alabama, and he's very good at it. The great thing about this is that it's easy completions for the quarterback. It's coming out of the opening series for a couple of series and saying, hey, I'm 7 of 8. I really haven't done much to throw the ball deep down the field. I'm kind of taking what the defense is giving me. I think this is something that's going to be really good to get Tua going early. What does it do for Tyreek? It gets him touches. Any play caller is going to have a sheet that says, I've got to get the ball to this guy, and these are the 12 to 14 ways I'm going to do it with a premier player like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, this isn't the article anymore, this is just my opinion. Tyreek Hill is that type of player. He's that dynamic. He is that type of game changer. Look at the playoff game with the Bills. Threw what? A 5-7 yard route to Tyreek Hill, and he took it the rest of the way for a touchdown, throwing up the peace sign. He's that dynamic. You get the ball in his hands, he's going to do something. He's going to make you miss. He's super elusive and all that stuff, and he's going to take it up the field. Brian Schottenheimer also said, when you play man-to-man, there are issues for the defense because you're singling up on an electric player. If you want to play in man-to-man, even if you have a good cover corner, you're probably having to cheat the safety over the top to help because the speed that Hill adds. And again, that will open up other guys as well. And the thing that people underestimate, right? I think it was last year, I think Tyreek Hill caught one go route. All these other routes are, slants and wheel routes and, posts and corners and all the go routes where Tyreek Hill just runs, right? Because we looked at Kurt Warner breaking down Tyreek Hill's routes, and a lot of it looks like they're go routes. But that safety is going to consistently cheat over the top. And Tyreek Hill on those routes knows if the safety's cheating over the top, I'm going to find the empty zone and it's just a long extended curl route. They're going to get the ball to me, and if the safety comes up, I'm going to take it over the top. But no safety's dumb enough to come up on Tyreek Hill and let him take it over the top. So they rarely threw it to him on go routes. And like he's saying here, you're playing man to man. It's just dangerous to play man to man, not only with Hill, but with Waddle and with Gesicki. Because Gesicki's a fantastic 50-50 ball, like we read in the other article. So what that's going to do is, like you said, you're going to cheat the safety over, kind of double team Tyreek Hill. You only got 2 safeties on the field unless you play, the style of defense that has 3 safeties on the field. Someone's going to be left on an island, and you're going to have to, last season he says, now this isn't Brian Schottenheimer, but this is Peter says, last season Tua was 26 with 6.3 yards per attempt against cover 1, and the 49ers similarly struggled with only 50% completions. Hill could be the answer to these concerns, bettering all but the 10 receivers with 2.77 yards per route run since 2018. Another major factor that McDaniel will try to incorporate is improvisation. Majorly due to the talent of Hill and one of Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City had by far the best team at improving. See below, and there's a chart below, essentially talking about improving. Essentially, we've seen that. We've seen, Patrick Mahomes play breaks down. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and he just throws the ball up. That's what he did. Tyreek Hill's in the vicinity, Travis Kelce's in the vicinity, these guys are and he would just run and just wing it. He would just throw, because he has the arm to just launch that sucker, essentially throwing a punt to his players. And it just so happened he had such good players, they would come down with it. Finally, the oft discussed topic of Tua's arm strength will have to be evaluated by Coach McDaniel. For what it's worth, Schottenheimer has faith. He says, does he have the strongest arm in the NFL? No, he doesn't. And again, I'm not saying he does. I don't think anyone's going to come in here and say, he should be up there. He should be up there arm strength with Patrick Mahomes, with Josh Allen, with Justin Herbert. No one's saying that. No one's saying he has the strongest arm. Does he? And this is what Brian Schottenheimer continues to say. Does he have enough arm strength? Yes, he does. And that is where I come in and I rebut or I push back on some of these horrible takes. Does he have the strongest arm in the NFL? No. Does he have the weakest? No. He has the arm. He has an NFL quarterback arm. They need to figure out which deep balls Tua throws the best. He gives a guy a chance to go fight for the ball. He does a nice job on go routes. Some people don't believe that. Throwing it with anticipation. Some people don't believe that. The inside fade. He does a really good job on the 50-50 passes. He does. He has very good accuracy when it comes to that. While this has been effective with his big receivers like Gesicki and Parker, it's up for debate whether the much shorter Hill can be successful the same way. And that is where Cedric Wilson Jr. comes in. Again, write that down. Although Tua has been one of the least aggressive passers in the league, both by average depth of target and percentage of deep shots, he has been highly effective, completing 47.1% of his passes of 20-plus yards, second in the NFL. So again, he doesn't take the deep passes. For one, me personally, from watching film and looking at what he had to deal with, I don't think he takes the deep passes as often because he doesn't have the time to take the deep passes as often. Would I love to see him do it? Of course. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see those one-play touchdowns, but I'm pretty sure the defense wouldn't because then they're back on the field. But when he does do it, and when he does take it, he has the second best completion percentage on those deep passes. So he's smart about taking it and accurate when he takes it. He says, I think a huge thing when talking about the deep passing game is going to be the run game that McDaniels is bringing over from San Francisco and the creativity and the problems it creates with misdirection. The various types of jet motion and things like that will create huge passing lanes off those hard shell actions. How well they can run the football is going to be a really big part of it. And that is what people don't understand, right? Everyone wants to put the blame on Tua Tagovailoa. Not everyone. I apologize. Some want to put the blame on Tua Tagovailoa because he's a quarterback. The quarterback has this huge spotlight on him, and that's all the blame is on Tua. If you have no run game, Dolphins have the 32nd ranked run game. If you have no offensive line, Dolphins have the 32nd ranked offensive line. Your passing game is going to struggle, especially when your receivers have a hard time getting separation and the routes that are being drawn up have receivers in the same spots. I've broken that down and I've talked about it where there has been so many times where there's 2 or 3 receivers about 5 yards from each other. Two defenders can cover those 3 receivers. Like, what is that? Also, if the defense isn't afraid of your run game, then all of a sudden they don't have to cheat at the line of scrimmage. You don't have passes over the top. You don't have those deep passes. So like Schottenheimer's saying, what McDaniel's bringing in from that San Francisco style of run game and those, hard shell actions and all that stuff, it's really going to open up the pass game because now if this run game can be successful, you're going to take some of those safeties and you're going to cheat them down a little bit more to help stop the run. Establishing the run helps the pass game. You get the play actions, you get all that stuff. Because if you have a running back like Derrick Henry, who you put that ball in that man's hands, and he's going to get a minimum of 5-6 yards, every time you turn around, as if you're going to be putting that ball in his stomach, those linebackers, those corners, and those safeties are going to take that step forward to think to themselves, I have to tackle this man, and he is a bull of a man. Versus, if you know for a fact, Myles Gaskin, Savon Ahmed, again, this is before Duke Riley and Philip Lindsay got brought in, they're going to get a yard, if they're lucky, without blitzing, and you see the quarterback turn to put that ball in their stomach, these safeties and linebackers are like, I'll just wait here. Oh, they're actually handing off? All right, let me get in there and do what I have to do. I don't give a crap. And that's where it hurts. So what they're talking about with the 33rd team And what Barry Jackson was talking about is this offense, if it can get working and if it can utilize the speed, utilize the route running, utilize the run game, and really get things going, this can all help. Tua was very successful running the RPO. And I know some don't like running the RPO because it's a gimmicky style of offense and some want him to learn a traditional style of offense. I don't know what style of offense he's going to be learning under Mike McDaniel. I'm going to look more into that, and maybe we'll break that down, and we'll break down the style of offense he's running during preseason to kind of get an idea of it. But what is being installed here and what is being, is going to help Tua. Like this article said, and I'll link them all below, both articles below. Can Tyreek Hill help Mike McDaniel get the best out of Tua? Yeah. Because like he said, everyone wants to point out the fact that Tua doesn't have a strong arm. Or no, Tua doesn't have the strongest arm in the NFL. But does he have... Tua has an NFL quarterback arm. He can make the throws. I've seen him make the throw to Matt Collins against the Saints. I've seen him make the throw twice. One against the Jets to Devontae Parker and then to Isaiah Ford. I've seen him make the throw to Jalen Waddle on 2 separate occasions on crossing routes against the Ravens and against the Titans. I've seen him make these throws his rookie year to Preston Williams against the Cardinals. Like, I can raffle off all of these go routes, all of these deep crossing routes, all of these routes where Tua has put that ball 40 yards down the field right where it needs to be. So to say he has a weak arm is false. To say he doesn't have the strongest arm in the NFL, that's true. It's 100% true. He's not Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers. Hell, trying to think of strong-armed quarterbacks. I think Joe Flacco has a pretty strong arm. But he's not that. He's not Dan Marino, where you heard defenders talking about. I think Marcellus Wiley was talking about in a video that I had to take out because Fox Sports sucks. That he would throw. Dan Marino was the first quarterback that he ever heard a pass whiz past his head. Like you would hear it past his head. Yeah, that's not Tua. But Tua's got that accuracy. Tua's going to drop that right in the bucket. So that's what I got for you guys today. Be sure to comment below. And again, if you want to be part of comment of the day, because I know I haven't done comment of the day in a minute, put comment of the day. Not question, comment of the day before your comment, and I'll pick it for the next video. That's what I got for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, again, hit that thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know what you think about everything I've talked about. Training camp starts next week. Next Tuesday, the rookies have to report, and then in 2 weeks, the vets have to report, and then August 13th. So tomorrow, it is a month until we watch Dolphin football. Dolphins taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, preseason week 1. I will be live for that as well. Can't wait. We're a month away from football, boys. A month away from football. But other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. My fins up.